Welcome to Beyond Flow. My name is Tammy, and this is Maria, and we are your hosts here with you in season 2 and working on a lot of great new episodes. We're excited to talk today. This is going to be a little bit more about what inspired us originally to start doing this, which was teachings that inspire us. So we're looking forward to sharing that with you, and we hope that you will share this podcast with others. We are now on Spotify and about to embark on a bunch of other platforms where you can just listen if you don't want to watch through YouTube. But hopefully you can just share with everybody and let everybody know about what we're doing, and we can all share the love together. So here we are, teachings that lift us. We oftentimes have found ourselves, when you are maybe going through something, or as the world is on a daily basis, going through a lot, sometimes just opening up a spiritual book or anything that inspires, just to open it and read something without even knowing what it's going to be, can be the best thing you can do for yourself. So we have done that, and we wanted to share these sort of random passages that we came across, and excited to kind of just talk about them and hopefully inspire you, as we always are.
Absolutely.
So you were going to share one.
So when we talked about doing this episode, one of the things that I did before picking the subject, is I asked to be guided, because I think that when we can read, and it is said that when you read something spiritual, it actually elevates our consciousness. It's not just, that you're reading something for inspiration, but it actually helps our consciousness. And I think that's, what we can all share with each other.
Yeah.
So this book, I got this book many years ago, like more than 15 years ago, probably. And I was going through something, and then it's a small book. It's called 6 Days to the Top. It's by a rabbi. And it's Laser Brody, that's his name. And he always talks, and you can find him on YouTube. He always talks about emunah, which is faith. So all his teachings, every time I used to listen to him, it was about faith. And the book, it's pretty much about having faith. So before I remember earlier I wanted to share it with you what I was gonna read, and you said, okay, just when we're there, just open the page. Of course I know what the subject is, but I thought it was important because in my personal life, and I think we can all relate about new beginnings. So let me just move a little bit. But so this one that I open, it says declaring a new beginning is monumental to spiritual rebirth. How? Question mark. The spirit influences the body. So when the spirit declares a fresh start, the body becomes rejuvenated. And I thought that was, I'm going to keep going, but that was amazing. And we can go back to that. By removing the focus from your setbacks and disappointments, you avoid sadness and depression. By declaring a new start, you destroy sadness and depression. Wow. The cheerfulness of a fresh spiritual start will keep your face, body, and complexion looking younger than any spa and cosmetics. Wow. A fresh start is the secret of staying young. Let's take a day-to-day example. Suppose we're caught off guard and we lose our temper with someone close to us. Spiritually, we'll be knocked down. But the game's not over. If we suck in our pride, give our loved one a thoughtful little gift and sincere apology, we turn our setback into a major victory. We rejuvenate ourselves and our relationships with others. A fresh start keeps us happy, youthful, and optimistic. We have a great day and we keep on climbing.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I mean, it sounds like it's very, but why I think it was for me that it touched me is how we every day we have the opportunity for a new beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what I have a very good friend of mine that I hope to have him here as a guest, and so he's been through recovery. I think it's his 5 year. He's been clean for 5 years, and I remember one time I was talking to him, and what kept him using was because he would feel that he had a setback, and instead of looking the next day as a new beginning, he will just dwell in the pain of what he did the day before. And I think that can be very monumental in our lives. How many times, we go through an experience and we feel that we fail because we didn't do what it was expected, or maybe we, like in the book, he says we lose our temper, or we do something that we
Maybe
feel that
regret, maybe,
that
or
you regret, or
just wish it had been different.
There's so many examples that we can give, but I think that what touched me and what I feel it's very for me, that inspires me, is to know that there's always a new opportunity, that there's always a new beginning, that life, as long as we have life, we have the opportunity to begin anew.
Yeah.
And I heard, I don't think it was this rabbi, but if it wasn't him, how they say that, to create miracles, lift another person, say something inspirational to a person, tell them you love them, say something that inspires that person. That's how we can create miracles, because you never know what the person is going through, and you can be the inspiration for that person to believe in love again, kindness, to have faith that the light of the Creator is always loving us no matter what.
Yeah. And inspire someone to have a new beginning, to let go of whatever is bringing them into a darker place, emotionally or spiritually, physically, whatever it is. But that idea of a new beginning being rejuvenating, that's amazing, because it's like we try to rejuvenate our skin all the time. We try to bring youthfulness physically. And I mean, basically the teaching is rejuvenate from within and it will shine on your outside too. I mean, that's powerful, because stress is like, stress is the number one killer. It's the number one that like knocks our body down. So a new beginning means we get to let whatever was yesterday, like Louise Hay always is, like, let it go, leave it behind, drop it. Let's start a new day. You never know what the day's going to bring. If miracles can happen every day, and they do, so why not expect that? Why not expect something to shift? Because our expectations become a reality.
And don't you want a new beginning anyway? Like,
yeah,
that's what, that is the beauty of having this experience, that we have every day the opportunity to create a new movie, and to create it from a different place, from a place of understanding of that's the beauty of getting older, right? Like, you get to know yourself more, and the importance of happiness, of being happy. And I'm not saying you have to fake happiness, but happiness is, if you know that God, Divine Mother, the Creator, however you connect with it, it's always loving you, then we have no reason not to be happy.
Right.
And it's also connecting with, there's always a new opportunity. There's always a new way to understand, the experience that you had before, that it's not there to
ruin you.
It's there to actually to make you better.
Yeah.
So I think that is, to me, something that, if I'm going through something and I'm like, okay, this is heavy, it was hurtful, I'm going through some sort of, whatever it is that doesn't feel good, it's to know that there's a new beginning for me, that tomorrow, even the next hour, I mean, forget about tomorrow, but, that it's there, and that we all have that ability to know that God will always give us a new beginning.
Wow. Powerful. I love it. Oh my gosh. So good. So good.
All right. So that's that.
That was good. Okay. So we did talk about this concept. So the first book I thought of was the Course in Miracles. And this has been a presence for many, many years in many people's lives. I think a lot of people have heard of this before. But it is just, it's monumental. And this is a great book to, I think maybe once you've sort of understand kind of how it lays out, it's a great book to just open up any page to. But the Course in Miracles is basically like a universal spiritual teaching. It's set up like a instruction book in a way. It gives you lessons and things to do. So it's sort of an activity book in a way.
But very deep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's beyond deep. And it was created by, so there were these, and you can read about the story of how this book came about, but it was two like psychology professors. I think they were writers or medical psychology professors. That's what it was. And one thing led to another of wanting to shift in life. And the woman of the two, I'll put in the notes like the specifics, their names and everything. But she all of a sudden started getting messages, and
like a channeling,
like kind of like a channeling, but it was like she describes it as like just like information, like almost like she was hearing a voice. So it wasn't, there's something called automatic writing. It wasn't that she was tuned out and her body was, it was like she was hearing a voice dictate everything. And she wrote this over the course of 7 years. And the other professor was like her writer. So she dictated what she was being told and he wrote it. And there's basically very little in this book that has been shifted other than just like, grammar and things that from exactly what was told to her. And some say that it was the Holy Spirit speaking to her.
Wow.
And so
it feels like it when you read it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I wanted to just read a short little, within the introduction. I just thought that this was neat. So, which is why when you get the Course in Miracles, it doesn't tell you the authors on the cover like most books, right? So the names of the collaborators in the recording of the Course do not appear on the cover because the Course can and should stand on its own. It's not intended to become the basis for another cult. Its only purpose is to provide a way in which some people will be able to find their own internal teacher.
Wow.
That's what this is for. So I did what you did. I sat for a minute. I went into a quiet meditation space, and I opened the book first to the page in the back and second to another section. So they basically totally relate. And one is an invitation, and then the other one is what's called the lesson. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit here. So stay with me. But it's important. Okay. So it was called The Invitation to Healing. So I'm going to read 3 little parts. Healing thus becomes a lesson in understanding, and the more you practice it, the better teacher and learner you become. If you have denied truth, what better witness to its reality could you have than those who have been healed by it? But be sure to count yourself among them, for in your willingness to join them is your healing accomplished. Every miracle that you accomplish speaks to you of the fatherhood of God. Every healing thought that you accept, either from your brother or in your own mind teaches you that you are God's son. In every hurtful thought you hold, whether you perceive it, lies the denial of God's fatherhood and your sonship. And denial is as total as love. You cannot deny part of yourself because the rest will seem to be separate and therefore without meaning. And being without meaning to you, you will not understand it. To deny meaning is to fail to understand. You can heal only yourself, for only God's Son needs healing. You need it because you do not understand yourself, and therefore know not what you do. Having forgotten your will, you do not know what you really want. Healing is a sign that you want to make whole, and this willingness opens your ears to the voice of the Holy Spirit, whose message is wholeness. He will enable you to go far beyond the healing you would undertake, for beside your small willingness to make whole, he will lay his own complete will and make yours whole. What can the Son of God not accomplish with the fatherhood of God in him? And yet the invitation must come from you, for you have surely learned that whom you invite as your guest will abide with you.
Wow.
So, wholeness is understanding who we truly are, how we are a part of God, how we are not separate, that there is the concept of separation is going against everything that is what brings healing. And the only reason that we need healing in this realm is because we're in this physical realm, right? But our truth is something much higher. And the more that we can connect with that, the quicker we can see the manifestation of whatever healing that we need.
Yeah.
So
I like the part of the invitation too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to also be in a place of inviting that healing.
Yeah. And invite. Yeah, it's like we have to get out of the way, and invite the Holy Spirit at any moment in our lives that we feel lost, or we feel abandoned, or we feel that we don't know what to do, uncertain. Call on the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Because the Holy Spirit is here in this realm to bridge this physical realm from the higher realms. So calling on the Holy Spirit, immediately you will manifest.
Yeah, it's almost like
that love and that support.
It's an instant thing that we get. That's very true. It's a great reminder, because sometimes we go through. It's almost like we think that we need to go through things on our own,
right?
And no, we can invite healing. We can actually, sometimes even healing is just a change of perception.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not supposed to do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And I feel like you're right. Like the ego aspect of being human, and I don't mean like arrogance ego, just the ego, the physicality of being human, is that part that kicks in and says we have to do it on our own, or we're here on our own, and it's all up to us. And the sooner we can kick our ego out, release that crazy, chaotic mind, the sooner we can bring in that harmony in our lives and that love. And I feel like that's the answer to anything we need healing.
Absolutely.
So I had opened firstly to this lesson. So, and it's called "There Is Nothing to Fear." So this would be what one would study one day as you move through each lesson. It's like each day. The idea for today simply states a fact. It is not a fact to those who believe in illusions, but illusions are not facts. In truth, there is nothing to fear. It is very easy to recognize this, but it is very difficult to recognize it for those who want illusions to be true. Today, practice periods will be very short, very simple, and very frequent. Merely repeat the idea as often as possible. You can use it with your eyes open at any time and any situation. It is strongly recommended, however, that you take a minute or so whenever possible to close your eyes and repeat the idea slowly to yourself several times. It is particularly important that you use the idea immediately should anything disturb your peace of mind. The presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. The awareness that there is nothing to fear shows that somewhere in your mind, though not necessarily in a place you recognize as yet, you have remembered God. And let his strength take the place of your weakness. The instant you are willing to do this, there is indeed nothing to fear.
Wow. There's nothing to fear.
And if you are finding yourself in fear, it's an illusion. It isn't real. Just remember. And when you remember, you're with God. And that's it. Nothing else to hold. Surrender it.
Surrender it. So I think that three things is the healing, invite healing, get out of the way, so that we can, and get out of the way, it's just maybe your doubt that, you won't be able to heal whatever it is that you want to heal. The healing is happening. To invite the Holy Spirit, and that there's nothing to fear.
Right.
Whatsoever. And that, of course we're talking about something deep, which is healing, right? But what makes me also think of is, every time we're about to do the podcast, I get nervous because it's not a nervousness of, I think it's more, I want to be able to express my truth and be genuine, right? And so right before we're about to, not throughout the day, but right before I'm about to sit and, that he's setting up, I was going to a place of, oh my God, okay, we're going to sit there and we're going to talk, and is it going to come out right,
Right.
And that it's a fear. But the moment that we start talking, and that I truly pray, and I do, to the Holy Spirit, is to help me say the right words.
Yeah.
And then that the fear disappears.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a more natural process, because it's almost like I'm taking myself out of it.
Yeah.
And so that is the in a small way. Now, of course, in bigger things, we can do the same, to know that there's nothing, absolutely nothing to fear. Number one, because none of this is real.
Which is, if you ever work with the Course in Miracles, it is drilled into you that none of this is real.
I think the first
it's
lesson,
so awesome.
I think the first lesson, if I'm not mistaken, the first lesson is, this chair is not real.
This table is
is not real. None of it. And and
it's a concept.
It's a concept
to really get. Yeah. So recommend this highly. We'll put in the notes a little bit more information. Okay, that was good.
Okay, well, I have one more.
Yeah.
And then this one is short, and this is from The Secrets of the Zohar from Michael Berg.
Yes.
Which is a Kabbalistic teachings. And what I opened to share, and it goes a little bit in a little bit, not a lot, with what we were talking about, not only through healing, but also about new beginnings, and all that, what it means. So I opened this one in this call, The Secrets of the Zohar, and it's the part that I open is called The Power of Forgiveness to Remove Judgment. So this is short, and then we can talk a little bit of what it means. So it says, how many times in your life have you felt the desire to hurt someone for the simple reason that they hurt you first? Whenever you try to enact vengeance, even if you truly feel it's justified, you create an opening for judgment to be enacted upon yourself. But when you resist an impulse for reactive vengeance, you bring forgiveness and goodwill into your life. So then it says here, sometimes the Zohar is challenging in its teachings, and sometimes it is very straightforward. This section uses a simple, clear story to reveal the power of true forgiveness. And then it tells a story how this very high teacher, sage, he witnessed what, he was traveling, and then he witnessed this man, how he was saved once from a serpent, a snake, and a lizard came and ate the snake. And the second time he almost fell into a cliff. And so this very spiritual sage asked this man, like, what have you done?
Yeah.
Because I witnessed twice how you've been saved. And he said, I've always forgiven others. He doesn't go to bed before forgiving, and he goes into the place of really being in a place of forgiveness, of forgiving. Not only you forgive, but you make peace with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that the teaching here is the power of forgiveness, to forgive ourselves, to forgive others, and how that creates blessings in our lives. And how many times maybe because we have forgiven others, we don't know the blessings that maybe we have experienced and the miracles that we have experienced because of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah.
So the meditation says, everything that happens to you is the effect of something you have done in this lifetime, or even in a former one. Or it may be an experience that is being given to you to assist you in your transformation. In either case, what takes place is exactly what you need at that moment. Once you understand this, forgiveness for those who have wronged you is easy. In fact, vengeance will even be replaced by gratitude. Meditate on this section to awaken your ability for truly forgiving others.
Wow.
So I like that part where it says, that it's not only that everything that happens to us, it's not just even about forgiving, but it's for our ability to transform, and that maybe one day, we can see how we can be even grateful for that experience, that it's been hard or difficult, and that it's hard for us to forgive a person.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes me, as it said, and I was thinking about it before you actually read it, how you never know why something happens. Is it, is there something from a past life? Is there something, an encounter with somebody? Why is there conflict? So that's one thing, maybe as it relates to the individual, to you, but also, people's behavior, we have no idea what's really going on with that person.
It has nothing to do with you.
Right. The 4 agreements.
Right.
It's like we don't know. And we also, most of the time when somebody's operating out of or creating pain for someone else, or hurting them, or doing something that you're like, how on earth could you possibly do that? Like, that's a horrible person. They are experiencing such a deep pain within them that they don't even know how to heal it within themselves. Wow. So it's like snowballing from the parents and this and that into this other person. And it has, like you said, it has nothing to do with them.
Absolutely.
So our judgment on a person's behavior, like the movie The Shack, which I think we talked about last season in talking about forgiveness, but it was so well done, or it was a book too, but it was so well done that, you don't really understand the other. And when we can stop with all the judgment, even when somebody hurts you more than once, it doesn't mean you have to allow it. There's nothing to do with allowing someone to hurt you. but it's the judgment that we hold on that person, and realizing, let's not play God, who truly doesn't judge us either.
Right. Right.
You know, the truth is, there is no judge except for in this realm.
Yeah.
You know, and so we can understand each other or give each other a little break, I think, or at least from holding the pain by accepting that we don't know the whole story.
And also that forgiveness, you know, when we're going through something that, again, that we feel that it's hurting us. Well, we're maybe it's from this lifetime, maybe it's from a past lifetime. I mean,
Yeah.
but we have the opportunity for transformation and correction, which is at the end what we're here to do.
We're here to
So
transform. I love it. Well, those were the few that came through. So this is kind of our favorite thing to do, is just to talk about spiritual teachings and feel better about it and be better for it. So thanks for being with us today. All right, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.